I think we trust technology too much. And I think that's a risk. If you consider technology, and especially robot technology, it's not so flexible, whereas people are very flexible. So we kind of find ways of trying to make sense of, or we find ways of adapting, you know, to things that are not so adaptable to us. When I started doing research in this field, I realized how much that is affected by science fiction, and also that it's not really realistic use, or even, you know, something that we would benefit society probably. But we're still so affected by this in the robotics field. We need to really be more critical in our way of understanding technology, and also see, even though the technology looks promising in some ways, we kind of have to understand that someone else might be affected by this, and so on in the long run. This is not a question of trying to hinder development or not, like being positive to technology, but it's more like taking this more sustainable perspectives, like, you know, what is social sustainable, and what is environmentally sustainable, and what is economically sustainable, and we need to be working with those perspectives. I see robots as an extension of artifacts and tools that we're already using. And I think this thing of like seeing robots as a kind of copy of ourselves, I don't see that as a goal. I think there are much more opportunities if we consider the things that we're already using, and that we have a relation to that works well, and then to see that some robotic functionality might be good. For example, I've been working in projects with drones, and drones is an excellent technology to, for example, get an overview of a situation where it's a difficult environment to access physically. And so, for example, in a forest or at the sea, for example, to see what's happening. But then I also think it's equally important to consider like when you should not do robots. We need to consider like what is important to people, and you really need to understand, but what's essential, you know, what's the essential need in this situation, and not only see the robot as the given solution somehow. I think the most interesting part is that you realize so much about, or learn so much about humans and the human behavior, and robots kind of support us to understand that in a way.